Hey there, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's like we got a few people on already. We're just getting started. Let's see if I can come on the camera here. There we are. On fire. Good morning, JeepSolid. So yeah, like I said, or not like I said, I haven't said anything yet, have I? This is our morning coffee live. I do a live stream Wednesday mornings, 9 o'clock. Gives me a chance to connect with you guys. I'm just checking my chat and stuff here, getting all set up. Gonna make sure my audio works. These are the struggles of live streaming. Let's see here. Morning coffee live. I do a live stream. There's a little bit of a delay, but yeah, we are up and running. So yeah, Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock live stream, then my regular videos at noon on Fridays. This is just kind of a fun time to hang out and hey there, good morning. Kind of a fun time to hang out and chat and work on a project with me. So this is my 94 Wrangler, and I was driving it the other day. My camera setup is okay. Yeah, camera setup is, well, right here, but my screen is clear in the shop in there. But let's see, you said nothing, consequence yet correct. I was driving my YJ, last week, and I started smelling the brakes. I posted a little thing on social media about that. Driving around town and I could smell it. So I got out of my vehicle and I felt the hub, the front hub on the driver's side, and it was warm. I felt the hub on this side, just felt the wheel, and it was like fire hot, like a hot burner. Like I couldn't leave my hand on there at all. I could just tap it. It was like, wow, that is hot. So the brake, I assume most likely the brake caliper was stuck. So I started filming an episode about doing a brake job, checking your brake caliper, checking the pad, all that. And it started raining, so I kind of put that on the back burner, and then I thought I'd follow up with you guys today and continue on because it's a nice, beautiful, sunny spring. Or are we into summer now? I guess it's officially summer, isn't it? When does spring officially end? Anyways, it's a really nice day, so we thought I'd live stream this out here and drink my coffee. So obviously I have the wheel off already. I checked the brake pads. The brake pads actually look okay. I mean, there's probably 4 millimeters, maybe 5, I don't know, actually 5 or 6 on each side of the pad. Like the pads look okay. Other than that, all I've done is taken the wheel off. And now I'm going to pull the caliper and then just make sure that the caliper moves, that it's not stuck. Grease up everything, grease up the slides on the pads here. Make sure they're not stuck anywhere, wire brush them off, and then we'll put it all back together and see how it goes. So let's get started. Where are we at here? Let's take these brake caliper bolts off. I can see people chatting, but it's not popping up here, so I got to reset my live chat. And I got this new tool set, which I'm excited about. It should have everything I need in it. I don't know if you guys can even really see that. What size is this back bolt? Is that a 10? Yeah, this set is okay. It's a Stanley. It's okay. Like I don't like. No, it's 13, isn't it? I don't like how they snap in like that design. It's hard to pull them in and out. It's kind of a poor design there. Yeah, these are 13 millimeter. Oh, the other thing I'm doing is, like I said, I was filming. All right, who do we got on here? I was filming an episode, so I'm going to be continuing with that, so you guys get to see that firsthand. So yeah, JeepSolid's here. Frank, Bill, good morning, everybody. Ron, Jeep YJ newbie. Good morning, Jeep YJ newbie. I was a Jeep YJ newbie at one point. Bill Flint, Cheetah Face, boy. Had this happen on my 97 ZJ a few times, ended up going away on its own, LOL. Yeah, so you probably had a stuck caliper and it just ended up freeing itself. But yeah, this was, man, it was fire hot. I was gonna go get something. What was I gonna go get? I'm gonna take those calipers off. Oh yeah, I want a little piece of cardboard. My tip, throw the tire under the vehicle, so if it falls, at least the leaf spring will catch on the wheel and not crush you. Getting crushed by your vehicle is never fun. I like to throw a piece of card. I'm jumping in front of the camera here. Piece of cardboard, and I want a cleaner piece of cardboard here. I want a smaller piece than that. Maybe I'll just grab a paper towel. I want something to lay the caliper pins on because I've got to keep those guys clean as well. This is when you're doing brakes and greasing stuff, you want to keep your grease clean. You want to keep your caliper pins clean. I'm gonna love your YouTube channel, bud. Hey, thank you. Gosh, yeah, my chat keeps freezing here. Oh well, we're gonna keep going. Somebody said, love your YouTube channel. That was Michael. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. I'm gonna continue with my filming here. So I got another camera. So actually right now I have 3 cameras set up. 1, 2, and then this one that I'm gonna be creating my episode on, and you guys will actually get to see firsthand of how being a YouTube creator works and the struggles we go through. So yeah, grab yourself a hot cup of joe and let's get started. And all right, there we go, focus. So I'm back. It's actually a few days later. The rest of the day, honestly, it ended up raining the rest of that day. It wasn't supposed to. The weather forecast, the weatherman was wrong. Wow. Imagine that. Anyways, I've got the wheel off, got everything else I need right here. I like to put some cardboard down, and I got my grease because we're going to pull the caliper pins off, re-grease them, check to make sure the caliper is free, check the pads and all that. One good tip, always throw your wheel under your vehicle when you're working on it like this, when you got it up on jack stands. In case the vehicle falls, it happens on occasion, it's going to catch on the wheel and maybe save you. So that's a good tip right there. I do preach safety a lot on my channel because, I don't know, I guess I've seen a lot of people get injured. All right, caliper pins, 13 millimeter. I wonder if I could break these guys loose with just this wrench. I'm gonna bring my other camera in closer here. We're up to 21 watching right now. I'm at work watching this instead of my job. Wish was working on my YJ. Yeah, I know. I get it. I worked all weekend long, and yeah, sometimes my days off, obviously Wednesdays, that's why I can live stream on Wednesdays. My days off vary a bit, but definitely times where I would rather be working on my Jeep than working at the hospital. I'm gonna actually pull this camera in. So this is something else we struggle with, or why YouTube takes so long. Like, I gotta take this mic off because it's a directional mic. I'm gonna be behind the camera. Gotta change the focus. There we go. And try to get the shot, make sure lighting is okay, make sure it's in focus. So the next step on the back side here, we've got a caliper pin right here, one down below. They're both 13 millimeters. We're gonna buzz those guys out real quick. I'm gonna have to grab a bungee cord or a piece of wire to hang this caliper on. Oh, I'm going to need a big old screwdriver to get this, to break it loose too. Caliper pins coming out. One of these, the caliper pin, yeah, I'm not sure if it was on this vehicle, was starting to strip out. I had to actually buy a new caliper pin. Caliper bolt. Those two guys look okay. They're all nice and greased up. Yeah, maybe I don't need a screwdriver. Sometimes you can put a screwdriver in the vent there, like in between where the caliper is, and use it to like pry it over if it's really stuck. But mine's not. I can actually get it by hand. But I do need a little bungee cord. Let me grab that real quick. Bungee, bungee, bungee. Bungee cord. Here's a nice dirty one. If your camera's close enough, audio is super important if you're recording. It's like just as important as your image. If you have bad audio, yeah, people do not like it. All right, we've got both caliper pins out, and your caliper, I can actually grab a hold of this one on the back and just pull it over. What I'm doing is I'm compressing that piston on the back side against the rotor here so that we can pull it off. I think I'm making some progress. If it's really stuck, you can get a screwdriver in between the vents here on your rotor and in the caliper there and use it to kind of pry the caliper over. And all you're doing is squishing that piston on the back side in. Let's see if I can do a little bit more. Tootsie. Tootsie's hanging out in the shop. Yeah, I might have to go grab a screwdriver and get it in there. Still kind of stuck. JeepSolid's messaging me on, let's see what he just said. Hey, adjust camera 2 so we can see the wheel. Can you not see the wheel? Oh, yeah. Camera 2 needs to come over, huh? Sorry about that. Grabbing big screwdriver. Yeah, JeepSolid, he can message me privately, which is handy. Let's see. There we go. That should be better. All right. Let's see here. The screwdriver in the vent there. Let me record this. That's good stuff right there. That's money. Little socket in behind here to give it some backing and pull this guy over. Squish. And this might be the problem of why this hub was getting so hot if that caliper was stuck. But we're going to take a look at it and grease everything up. And with that, your caliper will fold away here. And like I said, my pads actually look really good. I can hang this up, but we're actually going to have to work on it a little bit more. So I want to check that caliper, make sure it is in good shape. You want to hang it though, so you're not putting a lot of stress on your brake line. So the rotor actually looks okay. I mean, there's a few little ridges on it. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to have to clean it off. You want to keep your rotor clean. If you have grooves in it, some deep grooves, your rotor will have to either be resurfaced or replaced. Honestly, a lot of people now, they just end up buying new rotors because you can get them fairly inexpensive, almost as much as having it resurfaced. Resurfaced might be a little cheaper, but a lot of times I'll end up just buying a new rotor because it's not that much more. Right? Right. Okay. And let's take a little closer look at the caliper here. Oh, my bungee cord is stuck in there. That's awesome. There we go. And I just want to make sure that this... We'll go ahead and pull off the brake pad here. This would be how if you were replacing brake pads, where these... You can see this actually has quite a bit of meat left on it still, so I'm not going to replace that. But boy, I can still smell it where it was burning. And our outside pad. Still plenty of meat on it. Now the caliper itself, I just want to make sure that this caliper has movement in it. So I'm actually going to grab a pair of pliers, big old set of pliers on there and squeeze it, just make sure it'll move in and out. It doesn't look, there's a little bit of dirt and grime there, so maybe I'll clean that out. Just to make sure it has good movement. When I'm recording with this camera, I'm speaking up because the audio on it, like this live stream, I've got a lapel mic. That's one of the problems I have with live stream. I need another setup, and actually I'm looking at getting a new microphone setup. But this camera, I have to kind of speak up because I don't have a microphone like a lapel mic on me that I'll pick up really good audio on this other camera, so I'm kind of hollering a little bit almost. It's my, Jason calls that my JeepSolid voice. Yeah, there's a few little rocks and stuff in there, like just little road debris. But yeah, let's see if that caliper will squeeze down. Grab my big old pliers. Big old pliers. Yeah, I should be able to move it with that. So I've got my big channel lock pliers here. I'm going to see if I can just squeeze this caliper in a little bit more by hand, just to make sure it has movement. And yeah, it'll squeeze in. The other thing you got to check, you have to be watching your brake reservoir. Make sure you're not, because as you squeeze this caliper in, it's forcing fluid back up into the system. You want to make sure that doesn't overflow. But this squeezing it, the caliper has movement, so that is good. The rubber bushings here for my caliper pins, caliper mounting bolts, these are good. Good movement, boots aren't torn, everything looks okay there. The other thing I'm looking at is on the steering knuckle here. Yeah, because our pads, let me grab this pad here. trash. There we are. The other thing I'm looking at is the knuckle right where the caliper slides right along there and there. Well, actually the brake pad. So if I grab the brake pad here, I'm not touching the brake pad on the surface. You want to keep that clean. You don't want to get grease on it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to re-grease up the knuckle though. And I'm just making sure that these pads aren't getting stuck on the knuckle here. I'm going to take a wire brush, clean this off. There's a little lip right there. I actually might grind that off and just smooth that out. And then grease up this without getting grease on the rotor or on your pad at all, just along where the pad here will slide, up top and down below. There is a little, yeah, I wonder if that's my whole problem. Yeah, I might be looking at a new knuckle. This knuckle has on the outside edge rooftop. Yeah, on this outside edge, there's like a little lip right here, which I bet that's what it was getting caught on. Need to smooth that out. That might be my whole problem. So let's grind that off. Which means I'm going to run electricity out here and get my grinder. Grind that off real quick. Get my camera out of the way because I don't want grinding dust all over my camera. I don't want to buy a new steering knuckle. It's a big pain. I'm going to try to clean that up and just see if that'll be good enough. I'll wire brush it off too. But let's smooth it out. Let me grab some more tools. I don't want to get grease on these brake pads. Electricity. This will be pretty quick though, just a quick little grindy. And does my other grinder have, oh it does, sweet. I love having two grinders, one with a cutoff wheel and one with a wire brush on it. All right, we got tools, earmuffs, safety glasses, grindy stuff. Can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can still see. Good. What's the chat? What's going on in the chat? Let's see, is that rotor blue? No? Does it look blue on camera? Yeah, it might have got overheated, but we're gonna, who said that? Is that rotor blue? Bill. Yeah, no, it's not blue. It might look a little blue on camera. It did, I'm sure it did get overheated, but I could smell it and I didn't drive that far. I got home and checked it and yeah, it was really hot. So I'm gonna do all this cleanup, put it back together, and then if I have more issues, then I'll end up doing a whole brake job and maybe end up getting a new knuckle here if smoothing this out doesn't resolve that. I never resurface anymore. Yep. Inside outside balanced. Yeah, the two, yeah, they're pretty darn even. the thickness of the brake pads. He should do a brake upgrade mod from the WJ Grand Cherokee. Yeah, I've actually thought about that. Like, that's one downfall of YJs. Their brakes are terrible. This past March, let's see, this is Florida Jeep Dad. This past March, I just had to replace both front brake calipers. They seized up at the same time and started to leak fluid almost instantly. Huh. Yeah, at least it was leaking fluid, giving you an indication that, yeah, I'm broken. A lot of times that's the hardest part, is just finding out what's wrong. Voice is a bit related to dad voice, too. You should grease the pins. Use your lifetime supply. Yep. Move the camera to show the angle of knuckle and brake calipers. Yeah, I wish I could move the camera around. That's one problem with live streaming, is it's a huge pain to move the cameras. You guys can check it out though on my edited video, because I'm going to get some close-up of that. But I've got like this camera. I've got like this camera on like a tripod, on like a little arm. Getting the cord and everything around here, it's just a pain. And then my far away camera up there. You know what? I guess I could bring that one down. No, because then it's just a big pain. Because then I have to get it back set up there and angled right and everything. We're just going to keep going. Here we go. Yeah, I need that on manual focus. There we go. This will be fun for you guys to see though on a future episode. You can check this out. Be like, hey, I remember when he was live streaming that. And there's the bottom of the knuckle. Obviously I took the rotor off, and I'm going to kind of grind that down to smooth it out. I think that might be part of my issue, where I think the brake pad was getting stuck right there. We're going to see if we can get away with just grinding that knuckle, smoothing it out. If it doesn't work, we will end up having to buy a new knuckle and replace that. The steering knuckle is this whole part right back here. All right, let's grindy. Grindy. Out of focus. Gonna set my other camera up here to record a little bit of the grindy. There we go. All right, I'm also live streaming this, so I'm gonna be talking to my live streamers as well. So loud noise coming. You guys might want to turn the volume down here. Not a lot, just enough to kind of smooth that out. So I don't want to take a lot of material off the knuckle. And we're going to take our wire wheel now. Smooth that all off. I need a new wire wheel. This one's getting old. You know, the other thing I should be doing. I am outside, not breathing a ton of this, but the other thing I should do, I should have a mask on. Do not want to be breathing brake dust. Should have had a mask on the whole time too. Oh, live streamers. What's going on with my live streamers? What is involved with doing the brake disc or the brake upgrade? Yeah, I need to do a video on that in the future. I'd like to. I do plan on turning this this YJ into a project Jeep in the future and doing a lot of upgrades. Honestly, probably when I'm done with my other YJ, my 92, when that one is done, I'll end up selling that one and then turning this one into a project. So maybe I can do that, do a brake upgrade on it. I don't want to talk about what all is involved with it right now. I think I don't think you have to change the knuckle, but obviously you have to change the rotor, caliper, all that. It depends on what options you want to go with. I think there's a few different ways to do it, but I'd have to research it and figure that out. Okay. Am I on autofocus? I am. All right, there we go. We got that smoothed out, cleaned up. You can see real good there where that little notch is. I think I've got it smoothed out enough to where we'll be okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm looking at a new steering knuckle here in the near future. We'll see if it'll buy us some time though. All right, let's grease this up, put it back together. JeepSolid was talking about my lifetime supply of grease, and I got this tub of grease. Actually, I got it from my dad. I've been using it for, I don't know, 10 years. It's like half gone. Oh, no, maybe 2/3 gone. Not bad for 10 years of use. I used up actually quite a bit of it when I packed some bearings a while ago. That used up more than I'd used in quite a while. But yeah, buy yourself a good quality grease, top of it like that, and boy, it'll last you forever. You'll be handing it down to your grandkids. This tub of grease here, this belonged to great granddad Poppy. Or actually about me, they'll be saying, this belonged to your great granddad. He ran this thing called a YouTube channel. That was before they had the live holographic imaging, of course. virtualrepairman.com or whatever. Caliper pins. Grease this up. Get a little bit on camera. Oops. Just try to show that I'm getting grease on everything there. Well, not on everything. Definitely don't want it on everything. And grease on specific parts. very specific parts, and not too much. You don't want it caked on there, because you don't want it flying around, slopping off onto your rotor. And honestly, I'm going to have to wipe some of this off. It's just getting a little carried away here. Getting a little carried away. You know this little notch that I found on these knuckles? I actually, now that I've thought about it, I remember back to, gosh, I don't know what I was doing, hubs or something else on this. I remember seeing those in the past. So I'm honestly not super surprised that they finally gave me a little bit of an issue with seizing up a brake pad. There we go. Just a little lac coating, wiped some off. Don't want too much grease. Where's my camera? Ugh. And just a light little coating of grease on the top knuckle here. You don't want too much because you don't want it slinging off and getting on your rotor or pads. So just a light little coat of grease on all those parts. Okay. Now the caliper itself, I think we're pretty good. Almost looks like this is pushed back out. Squeeze back in there. Squeeze. And yeah, when I'm all done, I'll go check the brake reservoir, the fluid reservoir. But doing just one like this, I don't know, I'm very confident that it's not squishing out of the lid. If it is, well, I'll clean it up. Get our pads back on here. That guy's set. This guy, we should probably put him in the right direction. Get in there. I don't need any more grease on those. I think we got enough. I should probably put the rotor back on before I put the caliper. Have you guys ever done something like that? I certainly have. You go in and putting something together and you put the caliper back on, or like the heat shield. You're doing hubs or something, you get everything back together like, oh, or the little shield back here, like, oh, I forgot to put the shield back. I'm like, seriously? I had one, I forget. What was that? Like, good Lord, yeah, I got way into a project and realized like, oh, I left this, oh, I forgot to put the spring for the, oh, man, I gotta take it all apart. Yep. What am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm recording. Bear with me. All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Okay, we're recording. Oof. There are my pins on the back here. Here we go. Put the caliper pins back in. Find the right spot. That one's threading nicely. This one, And we're making sure the brake pads are sitting nicely on the knuckle, top and bottom, and on the back side that those rubber bushings aren't all bound up, that they're just setting on there nicely. Got our top pin in, top caliper bolt, and we'll get our bottom bolt in. As soon as I can see with my eyeballs. Nifta. There we go. And you want to make sure you get these in threaded in finger tight so that they're threaded properly. I cross-threaded one of these once and it was a big pain. I think that's the time I had to buy a new caliper mounting bolt. It just didn't go in smoothly. I ended up having to buy a new caliper pin. Just want to make sure this boot down here looks okay. Yep. Yeah, I think that was our issue. So hopefully grinding off just that sharp edge is going to free us up. We will be free. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff I can do to this Jeep. I'm anxious to start working on it, but I gotta finish up my 92 YJ first. Got one issue going on with the 92 YJ. There's like a misfire, and I actually made a video about it recently that I'll be publishing in the next few weeks. So I gotta get that resolved, and then I gotta paint it, which, yeah, I'm slowly working on that, getting that all set up for that, which has been a big process of getting my air compressor all set up and dialed in and ordering the right supplies, and I still have to order my paint gun. And good grief, I got a lot to do. Like painting a vehicle is it's a big project. Okay, 13 millimeter. I need my adapter. Now this gets torqued to inch-pounds. This gets torqued to 132 inch-pounds. Where's my baby torque wrench? Is it in here? It is in here. Baby torque wrench. I did get everything back on, right? Rotor looks good. Yada yada, greased up. Tighten those guys down. We'll be good to go. Oh, that's right. I need the... Oh, this is 1/2 inch to 3/8, so I'm going the wrong direction. I don't need that adapter. I need my little baby adapter. Where is that guy? Here he is. My little baby adapter. There we go. 132 inch-pounds. Okay. 100. Let's see, that'd be 100. 110. 120. 132. 132 inch-pounds. Where's my camera? These brake caliper bolts on the back, we're going to torque them to 132 inch-pounds. That was pretty easy. They were just about there. 132 is not a lot. Always amazes me sometimes at torque specifications. Sometimes, boy, that's it. Like my entire brake system is being held on with just a little click, a little 132 inch-pounds. Like the entire caliper. Okay. 13 millimeter. It's a nice little set, but yeah. I just don't like how they snap in. I don't know. I would design it differently. Okay, do I need to grease anything else? No, I can get my grease out of the way. We can start. Gosh, I think we can throw the wheel back on, right? Yeah, everything's free. We're greased up. Those are the only 2 bolts I took out. So this is like what I go through in my head of just double checking that I've gotten everything, because I don't want to miss something like I've done in the past. Get all this out of the way, and then our lug nuts, I think we're going to go with 90, yeah. Get stuff out of the way. Honestly, if I wasn't on live streaming right now, I'd start putting some of that stuff away. But because we're live streaming, I want to just get to it. All right, calipers on, rotors on, everything looks great. We're all greased up, smoothed out. Hopefully that resolves our issue. We can throw our wheel back on. Where's me lug nuts? There they are. I want to sip of my coffee, but because I was grinding out here and wire brushing brake dust goo off, my coffee's up there on the bumper, so probably not a huge deal, but I don't want to drink brake dust. So after I finish up, I'm gonna go make myself a fresh cup. Let's see, camera. Record a little bit here. I know a guy that, super funny story, is working on his mom's car, and he was doing, I don't know, brakes or something, had the wheel off. Was going to put everything back together, and he put the lug nuts on finger tight and then dropped it down, and his plan was to tighten them up and torque it, you know, once it was on the ground. Well, he kind of missed that step. I don't know, got pulled away for some reason, whatever. And he ended up not torquing them. And then he was driving the car back to his mom's house, and it dawned on him, like, oh, those lug nuts are on finger tight. I forgot to. He kind of panicked a little bit. He made it just fine, though. So, the moral of the story, yeah, don't leave your lug nuts finger tight. That's crazy. All right, I need my 1/2 inch. I'm gonna grab my 1/2 inch do jobber, because I don't want to do these guys just finger tight. 1/2 inch, and we'll use big torque wrench. Let's see, did JeepSolid respond to that story? I think that's a funny story, and I think it actually might involve him. Let's see. I think it's sealed bearing, sealed anyway. Finger tight, just like lug nuts. Just look them up. They're sealed bearings. Good to know. Oh, you're talking about the bearings on the front? Yeah, the front hub, they're sealed. The rear you can redo. Jason, do you and Dale use Instagram much? Bill, yeah, I have an Instagram page, JeepSolid Instagram page. Go follow it. Dale, much more than me, but I do have an account, JeepSolid68. Haha, it highlighted my screen name here. Just add 68, you'll find me on Instagram. Dale's JeepSolid. Finger tight, what an idiot. Yeah, I don't know who would do that. Yeah, it's a funny story. A good story. All right, I like to, get these guys wrench kind of snug down a little bit before I drop it on the ground. And then we'll drop it on the ground and torque them. Let's do a little recordy. I like to get them a little tight with before we get weight on it. Now we can drop it down. Everything out from underneath it. Yep. Where's my rag? There's my rag. I love how I keep diving in front of this camera. That's good stuff right there. Let's see, we're at 20 viewers. According to this one, let's drop this down. I gotta get this pad out of the way. So the trouble with live streaming is I've got all this. I've got cameras in the way. The struggles of YouTube. All right. Oh, where are we? Oh, come on. I had a double jack stand system. I like to do 2 jack stands just to be repetitive. A redundant system for safety. Boy, that's kind of on that lip. That's one of my main goals. One of my top priorities working on a vehicle. Don't get crushed under it. It's high on my list of priorities. All right. Boom. And we're going 90 foot-pounds. Because I'm smart, I'm gonna use my pad. I think I need the extension on this. Set this guy at 90. $87, 90. 90 foot-pounds. All right. And we're going to torque these guys to 90 foot-pounds, and we're going to alternate sides, kind of doing it in a star pattern as you go around. There we go, I'm just going to double check them. Boy, that bolt does not like this socket. There we go, all right. Okay, got a few more things to say to my other camera. There we go. All right, got those all torqued down nicely. The next thing we need to do, we got to check the fluid reservoir, the brake fluid reservoir, top that off if needed, make sure it's not overflowing because we're compressing that caliper a bit. The other thing you got to do when you're all done here, pump your brakes a few times. You are going to have no brakes when you first get in there and you step on the brake the first time, it's just going to be squish. So don't start driving, rolling back or something. Pump your brakes, get them set again. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my next video right up here and have a good day. And that's how we do an ending. So that'll be a fun little video coming up. But like I said, let's check that brake reservoir. Brake fluid reservoir. See if we can bring you guys up for the journey. Trying to see my camera angle. There we go. I think that was my problem though. I think that that little notch in the steering knuckle, I think that was what did it. One thing I love about my YJ, you want the hood up, you bring the hood up. I'm not worried about the paint, so I can lay it all the way back. And look at all that room. That's just great. Okay, brake. Master cylinder. Where's my reservoir? Power, coolant, washer. Oh, there it is. Where's my here? There's no piled up in it. Just check. Yeah. See if I need to add any .3. So I think we're good. Let me check our chat. That was some good stuff. 18 people. Let's see. I did on, let's see, Miguel. I did that on my Cherokee when I first got it. Drove it around. Where are you? We drove it around a few weeks. Then one day, right after exiting the highway, my wheel popped off and bounced onto an FJ Cruiser. Oh, yeah, man. Lesson learned. Misery loved company. Glad to hear others forgot too. Remember to try the brakes before you start to drive it. Yes, Bill. I actually made that mistake once too. Finished working on a vehicle. I think the wasn't in my mind. I wasn't working on the brakes. I was working on something else. I forget what it was. I don't know if it was. Did I do axle seal or like something? But I had to take the caliper off just as part of the job. But I wasn't thinking brakes, and I put everything back together. Like, okay, I'm good to go. And I start backing it out of the shop, and then there's another vehicle behind me, and I'm like, oh, okay, back it up. Okay, I start hitting the brake, like, oh, I have no brakes. And I ended up bumping that other vehicle, put a little scratch on it, but it was okay. Like, lesson learned. Department of Redundancy. Multiple jack stands, yes. Just to reset the pads, yes. Dale has a good, let's try the brakes first story to share. Go ahead, Dale. Yep. That's it. Nice job, Dale. No story? Story time. Yeah. So, yeah, we're an hour in. I think that's a good live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. I guess I will catch you next week, or actually Friday. Got a good video coming out on Friday. Make a comment there or on this video down below. Be sure to like and share it. Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. And I will catch you on Friday. Have a good day.